Welcome back to Get Down to Business, the show all about small business, jobs, and entrepreneurship. I'm honored to be joined by Dr. Travis Parry, who was once a workaholic type financial advisor who, with a dawning light of awareness, come over him, and he knew he'd have to change or he'd be shortchanging his family of, listen to this, 7 kids and wife and his well-being. It's an honor to have you, Dr. Parry. Welcome to the program.
Hey, thanks for having me. Appreciate it.
Absolutely. I know you've got a new book coming out sometime very, very soon. You've had Achieving Balance, which is something we all need to do. So, Travis, what was that aha moment like? When did you discover that something needs to change and you need to start living life on purpose?
You know, I was 26 years old. I was a financial advisor starting my own practice. And, you know, they tell you got to work nights and weekends to make the business work for the first 5-10 years. And then it's great. The problem is I saw a lot of my compadres falling into this, what I call the workaholic trap. And I was finding myself there too, kind of slowly sliding into these workaholism problems. So by honest to goodness, just an incredible experience that was both devastating and amazing. My father, 49 years old, he was 2 weeks away from his 50th birthday. We were planning his 50th birthday surprise party, suddenly passed away. Now, he was an avid mountain biker, cyclist, very athletic and, fit. But he had what was called the widowmaker. And that's when one of your 4 main arteries to your heart is clogged, at least, and you don't know about it. And he didn't. It was about 90% clogged, and he died literally in an instant, even though one of his best friends, who was an EMT, was riding with him, tried to resuscitate him for about 30 minutes before medical personnel could arrive. It was very tragic, and, you know, I still miss my dad to this day. He was a fantastic dad, though. And I really want to focus on how great of a person he was, because at 26, I didn't feel I was on that same path. I didn't feel that I was healthy. I didn't feel like my relationships with my family were very strong, or with God were very strong. I felt like I was kind of slipping away and letting my work control who I was. And at that moment, during those few weeks I was with my family, I had experience after experience that said, you know, Travis, you need to change your life. You need to find better balance. And I was so grateful that I listened to that, followed that experience, and now I'm helping others to do the same.
You sure are. And one of the very inspirational lines that I know you use frequently, and it's all over on your website, which we'll send our listeners to, is we don't manage time, we make time to achieve our goals. So you've written a lot, you speak a lot, and people will see that on your website. But what are some of the practical tips and advice that you have for the entrepreneurs, the small business owners that are tuning in, especially as we move into Q2 of 2023? How can we make that time to achieve our goals, both personal and professional, frankly?
Yeah, for sure. So there are 3 main myths. One is that we can somehow do everything at the same time. We need to understand we absolutely cannot, and we shouldn't be multitasking our life. So we should be focused, present, and really understand what are our highest priorities. If we're at work, what's our highest priorities at work? If we're at home, what are our highest priorities there? And make the time for it. That's where Make Time Institute gets its name, because I was kind of forced, like, hey, come up with a name for your company. Like, I don't know. We just make time for stuff. So it's Make Time Institute. And you're right. It's all over the website. We make time for our highest priorities in life. And I found that to be the secret to balance. 2 is that, so we are making time when we're productive, but productivity is not the magic pill per se. Because I found as I was training people, even if they're really super productive, if they don't have boundaries built in, they don't have goals outside of work, they will tend to become what I call a productive workaholic and continue to work and work. They're just going to be more productive at it. So in case you're thinking, well, I can just be productive, that's going to solve it. Unless you have an ideal calendar for every area of your life and you have worthwhile endeavors outside of your 9-to-5 career or job, you're not going to want to leave. You're not going to care about life outside. I love to snowboard, mountain bike, surf, hang out with my family, serve in my church, play music. Like there are things outside of work that light me up more than even working with my clients, although I do love it. And I hear that every day. But third, uh, I find that as I set people up on these systems, they have a time management system. They're focused on their, making time for their highest priorities. They tend to try to do this alone. Do not do it alone. Have an accountability partner. And I found the number one best accountability partner is your spouse if you're married. So involve them.
Yeah. Again, I've been chatting with work-life balance expert, Dr. Travis Parry, and I knew if there was one person that I could have on for a few minutes and pack a punch, I knew it would be you, Travis. And I know you work with all sorts of folks, including the kind of people that you were, that the financial professional, but you work with business owners of all kinds using your make time model. So, Travis, I'm inspired by our conversation. I look forward to having you back on. But what's the best way for our listeners to get in touch with you and pick up a copy of your book, both past and upcoming?
Sure. I'm on LinkedIn, Travis Parry. The best thing to do is go to our website, balancegrowthbook.com. And that's where you can actually get on our list to get our next book called Balance Growth, How to Scale Your Business Without Losing Your Balance. And of course, I'm happy to follow up with you there and stay in touch with you on everything Balance Growth.
Fantastic. Thanks so much for joining us, Dr. Travis Parry.